Ready to turn strategy into action? Welcome to this week's episode of SmartBug's Zoom In. Every week, we'll take a closer look at HubSpot features that we covered in our SmartTake series. And so this week, we're going to dive into HubSpot's new feature called HubSpot's Enhanced Multi-Step Logic. But before we dive in, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Alexandra Paquette, also known as Alex P, and I'm a sales engineer here at SmartBug Media. So back to the enhanced multi-step logic. So we all know that long forms kill conversations. But with this update, we're moving beyond the simple skipping to dynamic hiding and showing. And so this ensures that your visitors only see what's relevant to them and keeping them in control, as well as keeping your data clean. And so let's hop into HubSpot to see how that works. Okay, so once you're in HubSpot, you want to go to the marketing section and then click on forms. You can either create a new form, but for these demo purposes, I've created a form in advance. So I'm just going to select the form I've created and click on edit form. As you see here, if I zoom out, we have a two-step form. So step 1 has a few specific properties and step 2 has a few specific properties. So once step 1 properties have been filled out and the person clicks on next, they'll land on step 2 normally, click on submit to complete the form and submit the form. However, in this specific case, what we want to do here is go to the logic section and either add logic to create a new logic, and I'll simply click on the one that I've added before. So with this new feature, what happens here is that we have two new functionalities or options available: the hide steps and the show steps. And what happens here when you do create a logic, you always have to set up a rule. That rule contains an if statement. So if this, then that. So our if statement is if attendance or event attendance is in person or virtual. In this case, it's is any of in person, then hide the steps. But then you're going to say which steps. Then you have the option to select. You can't select step 1 because you need to fill out a minimum of 1 step, but you can hide step 2. And so what happens here is that this is a form for an event registration. And let's say, for example, if a person decides to attend the event in person, then they go to the event in person, and let's say they would get a t-shirt for the event. So then if they go in person, they'd get the t-shirt on site. If they decide to go to the virtual event, well then, for instance, what we could do with HubSpot is, okay, we know that they've selected virtual, so we're going to make them skip to step 2 so that they can give us their address, city, state, country, so that we can ship them the t-shirt and they can wear it during the event. What we want to do here is make sure that if anyone selects in person for the event attendance, hide the steps, step number 2, because we're not going to ship them anything since they'll be on site. What happens here is, again, you want to make sure to have your standard properties, make sure each step is well formatted here, as well as the submit button. And so you want to save and activate. Before we do that, one quick thing: make sure that you have at least 2 steps for each form. It's a prerequisite for this beta to work well. So you can have 3, 4, 5, or 6, but make sure to have at least 2. And then you want to click save and activate. And lastly, review and update and publish, or update in this case. We're going to go see that form, and then we're going to see how this really works out. So this is step 1. So I have my first name, last name, email, phone number, as well as event attendance, in person or virtual. In this case, I will choose in person. So now if I do click on submit, I shouldn't see the address fields or address properties. If I do click on submit, there you go. I skipped that step, which makes sense. So there you go. As simple as that. Remember that you have to activate the beta called Enhanced Multi-Step Form Logic for this to be available. You also have to have specific form permissions to create and edit forms. And also remember that you need at least 2 steps in that form for the beta to apply its logic. Last 2 things: you need to have a marketing hub or a content hub professional or enterprise tiers. So to recap, we want to make sure to start tailoring our forms and replacing our legacy logic with these new hide and show actions to clean up the UI of all of these forms. Now, don't forget to opt into this beta, try it out, and if ever you need help architecting your high conversion forms, reach out to us at SmartBug. See you next week.
Thank you for watching.